welcome back to another historical horses video, and this week we're looking at the horse-drawn mail coaches. So horses have been used to carry messages from the early days when postboys would deliver messages by horses. In the 18th century, horse-drawn mail coaches were introduced, which was to help cut down mail times. Mail coaches were generally pulled by 4 horses, and these were often draft horses of fairly good quality, often more expensive than your omnibus horse or tram horse of the time. The work-life expectancy for a mail coach horse was around 6 years, and this was actually longer than the tram or omnibus horses. The horses tended to join the service around age 6, as they believed that any younger than that and they wouldn't be ready for it. These horses worked long, hard hours, carrying 10 to 15 miles at a time at a good speed. The post office didn't own any of their own horses. They always used contractors. The McNara's stables in London owned some 600 horses that were used to pull the mail coaches. Generally, the horses were well looked after, fed well so they could withstand the heavy workload. Post office horses were even allowed sick leave. Horse-drawn mail coaches not only carried mail, but also passengers. They were often in competition with the stagecoaches. Mail coaches were slightly more expensive to travel on than the stagecoach, due to the fact that they were faster and often less crowded. The mail coaches often worked at night due to the quieter roads, so the coach could make better speeds. The mail was carried in a box at the rear of the coach, guarded by a post office employee. The guards had a serious role, and carried pistols to protect the mail from robbers. Often soldiers were used as guards. They were paid well to help prevent corruption. Passengers would sit inside the coach and up top with the driver. Due to the post office being on a strict schedule, the only stops were made for horse changes every 10 to 15 miles or collecting and dropping of post. This current picture shows the changeover about to happen on the mail coach. 4 new, raring-to-go horses about to be swapped with 4 probably very tired and exhausted ones. Poor quality roads meant it was a bumpy and uncomfortable ride for the passengers on the mail coach. In 1838, there were 59 horse mail coaches in England and Wales. Of course, accidents did happen, and quite frequently. From the 1903 book, Stagecoach and Mail in the Days of Yore, they showed the incident record for February 1835. 5th of February, Edinburgh, Aberdeen, overturned. 9th of February, Devonport, Mail, overturned. 10th of February, Scarborough and York, overturned. 20th, 35 mail horses burnt at Reading. In total, there were 10 accidents recorded in that month. Overturning was common due to the poor quality roads and the speeds the mail coaches were travelling. Sadly, fires were a common occurrence at stables due to hay and straw mixed with candle-lit lanterns or smoked pipes. It wouldn't take much for yards to go up in flames. Other accidents would occur due to the weather. Mail coaches didn't stop for anything. Snow blizzards, flooding. These poor horses had to deal with so much. In the early days, it was the upper-class privilege that used the postal service. As sending and receiving mail began to become more widely used and the expansion of the railway, the mail coaches slowly declined. The railway was a more faster and efficient way to move post. It must have been quite a sight to see the beautiful horses pulling the mail coaches along the roads at quite some speed. Though I definitely wouldn't have wanted to have been a driver or a guard. It must have been incredibly cold in the middle of winter at night time having to just sit up there.